look at Mumbai and some of their struggles at the death. And I think it's worth trying to delve a little bit into this, Shaun, and especially knowing where they are right now in terms of their batting. They've been asked to bat first, surprisingly, and maybe early days, but have a look at the number of wickets they've lost in 2021 vis-a-vis the entire season of 2020. This is obviously batting at the death.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not ideal, is it? And I think the situation is dictated a little bit by the fact that it's Chennai, a little bit by the fact that some of those guys at the bottom order aren't in the form that they have been in the years gone by. And I think if we even look back to last year, Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar, when they came in, they maybe weren't shooting lights out with regards to strike rate, but it was never a worry because you just knew when it got down to those last 4 or 5 overs, there'd be Hardik Pandya or Kieran Pollard or Cricbuzz Pandya. One of them would be at the crease at that time, and the ball would disappear and they would catch up on anything that they maybe didn't manage to achieve. It's not that easy to do in Chennai. They would absolutely love a surface like what we've seen in Mumbai. And that's why they picked their squad, and that's the players they picked to perform best in the 7 matches that would have taken place on their home ground. So it is a little bit of a concern, but I think they've just got to try and put that behind them. They've got to just try and make sure that the people who get the chance to do the job today get the job done, and then move on from Chennai. I think if they can walk away with 3 victories out of 5, they'll be a pretty happy squad, even though they have had their struggles. And the only person who would be dead keen to get out there and do something would be Hardik Pandya. I mean, he's a guy, he likes to be out there, he likes to be performing, he likes to be in the limelight and helping his team win. To have had a bit of a lean spell, he won't be enjoying it. And, beware to the team that manages to catch him when he starts to feel good.
Yeah, interesting one. He's not really contributed yet. Every time he's come up with those runouts, it's only been Hardik and Jadeja that we remember from the entire tournament with those classic direct hits. So he'll want to obviously crank it up a little bit. But going ahead to Delhi, do you think they'll already start thinking Delhi, or will we plan that on the flight or when we get there?
Yeah, I think you've got to see what you get when you get there. I know there may be the general expectation that Delhi will be similar to Chennai, but I think you have to deal with Chennai and get that sorted. And essentially for the Mumbai side, it's a case of putting a cap on the Chennai leg. And if you come off as a faster, bouncier wicket side that enjoys that a whole lot, and you've done, better, say, like Shaun says, 3 out of 5, I think you're okay. I think you're happy. And today, I think they'll feel, hey, we've been quite lucky there. They've asked us to bat first, I think if they were to choose, having been there this whole time, they would choose to bat first. And they would choose to, try and bat their opposition out of the game. And should the surface allow and perhaps deteriorate a little bit, slow down just a little bit, then they might be in a position where they can do that. I think also they need to show that they have figured out what happens on this surface, and being as good as they are in terms of the team and players that are in there, they will have worked out over the 4 innings that they've played that, oh, hold on, we can't do what we normally do. And perhaps in this game, they kind of get to the tempered approach that is required and put something on their opposition this time.
I think also what mustn't be lost on the Delhi experiment or 4 games, if you had a look at your opposition, 2 of those games against Rajasthan. And, Rajasthan are the team that are sort of trying to come up with something. So, yeah, I don't think they'll be too concerned at all as they head over to Delhi. I'm sure they'll adapt accordingly there.